Hey there, and welcome to day one of our Beehive bug printing project. As a reminder, if you haven't yet, make sure you add your pun to the Hall of Fame if you would like to. And of course, don't forget to check out your grade as well. Make sure when you check the grade that you're also looking for any feedback that I gave you. Whether it's absolute praise or maybe I have suggestions on how to improve your score. Look and buzz, see that score, read the comment. I usually leave you like a fun video or GIF or picture too, so check that out. And yeah, that way you're kind of in the loop on how that last project went. Speaking of last project, let's talk about this project. What are we doing? We are going to be doing some printing. We're going to be using mixed media. We're going to be painting. We're going to be using oil pastels to create these really cool compilations of bug prints. And yes, you heard that right. We are going to be printing them. So I'll explain that in a bit. But these are some actual examples from students here at our VA. So you can see that we're going to be making a total of 9 or more if you want to for extra credit. Of these bugs, you'll use a print or a stamp, we're calling it, more than once to make, each bug or whatever you choose to do. It could be bugs, little birds, things like small stuff, right? Things like that for this. So you'll reuse each of those stamps more than once and color them in different colors, and it's going to just be really cool, really fun project. I'm excited to get it started with you guys. So a few things. We're going to need some paper bags for today. If you haven't yet gotten them, that is like majorly high on your to-do list to get just paper bag or something that's just kind of similar, like a brown paper. Yeah, that's what we're looking for this. I suppose worst case scenario, if there's like literally no way that you're able to get a paper bag, you've checked with your neighbors, you've checked with your family, you've checked all around, you can't go grocery shopping for like another week or two. If you need to use plain paper, I guess let's go for it. It's better than not doing the project. But if you can, it does look really nice on our paper bags. So our first step today, let me switch our view, is going to be to cut this into about 6" by 6" squares. So this is kind of awkward. But I'm going to cut it down the seam here. And my first goal as I'm cutting this is going to be to cut off this bottom of the bag so that I can open it up. I don't know, have you guys ever even covered books? We used to do that in like the 90s. We'd cover our books, our school books, like our textbooks, using these. Whew, it fell. Using the paper bags. So this is just bringing me back to when I was about your age, many, many, many moons ago. All right, I almost have the bottom off, just a few more cuts, one more turn, and then we should be good. So once I remove the bottom, which you could use this if it's not too like tattered, you could use that too, so I'm going to save that off to the side. But you should have something that looks like this, okay? Now I don't need the handles, so yours has handles. Go ahead and cut them off because we're not going to need those. Do the same on this side. And let's see, so about 6" by 6". I can tell, if you can't, go ahead and grab a ruler, but I can tell that this is over a little over a foot wide. So I'm actually going to just cut mine right in half. If it ends up being a little bit bigger than 6 by 6, that's okay. I wouldn't go smaller though. Believe me, when we get to some of these later steps, you will not want it to be too small. So I would say anywhere between like 6 and 10 inches would work. I wouldn't go bigger than 10 inches. Also wouldn't go smaller than 6. Here we go. All I've done now is I took that bag and it's now cut in half. So obviously we're not going to use this side. We'll use the inside, the plain side. So now that I've cut it in half, I'm actually just going to stack one right on top of the other. Why not? And we want to cut them into squares. If you want to measure, go ahead. Otherwise, you can kind of eyeball it. That works too. As long as you're getting it mostly square. And we want a total of 9 or more of these. Okay? Because for the final project, we want to have 9. So I usually say do 12. Because when you have 12, it gives us some room for errors. Look at that. How perfect. So if we make any mistakes on any of them along the way, we've got some backup. Speaking of backup, if I wanted to, I think this side's a little bit too crinkly, but I could probably get another one out of that. Okay, so now I've got a large pile of these. I think I've got about 13 or so with that last piece. And my goal is to turn them into an octagon, like that. So how do we do this? How are we going to turn our square into an octagon, you guys? Okay, let me show you. We are going to fold it in half, like so. Okay? And then we're simply going to cut the corners. When we cut the corners, let me kind of show you. I'm going to draw it out first. You want it to be about 2/3 of the way here and about a halfway there. So something kind of like that. Maybe I'll go a little bit more. We can always tweak it too. So I'm going to cut it right here. I'm just going to even that out. I can see it's a little crooked down here. Do you guys see that? I like one side sticking out more. So I can fix that right away. And same here. You don't actually have to draw the lines if you don't want to. You could just cut it. I'm just going to even that side out too. And when we do this, open it up, voila, you should have an octagon. So we need to do that to all of these. Okay? And that's going to be your homework before next class, is you want to have 9 or more, I would say a safe number is 12 of these octagons ready to go. So for next class, you're going to want all of these cut out. You're going to want your paint. You want to set up for your paint station. You're going to need your bubble wrap brayer. That's that roller thing. And your workspace like set up and ready to go. You might want like a water dish, maybe a smock on. So that's for next class, just so that you're set up and ready for that. I will see you all then. Bye.